Everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are playing with products that I've picked up recently from the Dylusions line. Now, I ebb and flow with Dylusions. Like, I love all their ink sprays. I have all of them. I love her stencils. I have a lot of them. I love the art journal books. I use them. But then, like, sometimes with the stamps and stuff, they're not always like my style, so I haven't purchased stamps recently. But I did recently purchase these sets. So I got 2 stencils recently, love them, big and bold. And then these 2, actually, didn't I get one more stamp that looked like this? I did. Okay, I remember getting both of the leaves. So these were an older release, and this is part of the newer release. So she does these really cool, like, figurines that you can cut and swap out the legs and the dresses to. And so I didn't want to go crazy and buy the whole series, you know, like I'm just getting back started, right? So I bought the one that was most favorable to me, that I can see myself, you know, using it a couple times with different figurations with the girls and stuff. So these are called Dinky dolls, and this is set number 4. I will have it linked down below if you want to shop. And then these are, this one is Special Branch, and this one is The Longer the Leaf. And so we'll do a background with stamping and the stencils, but we'll figure out how to do these girls. And what I'm thinking I want to do is, one, we're going to make a few of the girls, maybe 2 or 3. I'm going to use just white card. I'm running low on cardstock, so I'm using paper pads with pattern paper that I won't use. So I'm not going to use. Here's my white cardstock. And we're going to heat emboss it with black. And then once I have a nice good outline with the heat embossing, we will then color them in. And I'm trying to decide though if we're going to color them in with like her inky sprays, you know, and like use them like watercolor, which could be a look because I have the whole line above my desk. So that could be a look to use it. That way we stay true to the Dylusion one. I could just use watercolor. I could use marker. Okay, we'll see. So we're gonna color them too. So we're gonna have an embossing party. We're gonna have a painting party, and then we're gonna mix in and then we're going to make a background and have, or maybe a background, or should I do tags again? I know I've been doing tags because it's always like keeping my area better, which actually may be better, just so that I can have a few variations to show you. Sorry, I'm just looking for my black embossing powder. Where is it? Everything's falling. Okay, let's get started. Let's get started. So I am like an amateur stamper, meaning that this is just for fun for me. Probably if I busted out one of those my stamping platform things, this probably would have gone a lot smoother. So I do recommend taking that step if you do want to give this a try. But for, you know, what I always say too, for my little art session play that I had right now with these products, this was fun. This was fun, and I looked forward to doing it more, and I also look forward to buying other stamps in this stamp series. So this is called the Dinky Dolls, and it's set number 4. So there obviously is 1 through 3 ahead of this one, and they all can be mixed and matched to interchange to make these character paper doll figurines with different heads, different outfits, different legs. And I think the concept for the whole thing is like perfect. And when I was going through her list of stamps, is actually what the Dinky Dolls are, is the smaller version of her original stamp line. So I also think that's perfect because sometimes if you have one of her stamps, they're very much larger to fit her large Dylusions books. And these ones are smaller scale, same figurine, same illustrations, just smaller scale, which totally works for me. So no wonder I was drawn to them. And I will be playing in an A5 art journal from Stamperia. And you've seen me work in this one before. And actually, I only have like 1 or 2 more pages left in the book after I'm done with this double page spread to complete in it. And it is all done. So that's fun. So you can see I'm trying to like mix and match the outfits, mix and match the legs, and I'm heat embossing each one. I like to, what do I call it? Like batch create like this, where you're doing all the stamping, all the embossing, all of that at one go. And I'm doing more than I need just so that I can have a few of these on my desk ready to go whenever I feel like adding a focal image to a page. So that is what I'm doing now. And don't get me wrong, also let me know, is there a way to have the heat embossing powder not go anywhere, everywhere? Because I swear it was all over my desk, even though I try to keep it contained. That's just me. So I am coloring the flesh tone with a Tombow dual tip marker. And then for the brown colors for the hair, I do have a set of like Ohuhu markers. And then you see this is just like a alcohol set that I have from Amazon. I think my mom gifted this to my daughter. So I was just looking for browns because I didn't have any browns in the Dylusion ink sprays. And so I'm just kind of making their hair from hair and skin tone from the markers that I had in my collection. Then I went to town coloring in their outfits. So their outfits are all colored in with Dylusion ink sprays, and I'm using them like watercolors. And I was so lazy, I didn't even like pour any out into like a little like paint tray or anything. I literally am dipping in the thin little paintbrushes straight into the bottle. I just took off the nozzle. And so I'm just using red and green colors. So we have Postbox Red, Cherry Pie, and then it's Dirty Martini and Cut Lawn are the green and reds that I had in my stash already. And so I'm just filling it in. And that's what made the embossing part so wonderful. Like I didn't have to worry about the lines getting smudged. I didn't have to worry about um anything because with the heat embossing it makes it like almost like a ridge, like it gives you the border. I was able to keep my coloring contained. I didn't go outside the lines, and so this part very therapeutic. And you know me, with the repetitive work of this, I was listening probably to an audiobook, and we just had some fun. And like I said, all I did was use colors of Christmas, so everything is on their outfits is all red and green, keeping it festive. She did come out with Dinky dolls in the series for a heads that had like Christmas tree hats and like bobble hats and stuff. And it was so cute. But don't get me wrong, I told myself, remember in my December daily videos, that I am not allowed to buy Christmas themed stamps, stencil, or anything because I know I never use them. And so I went with the classic Dinky doll set, and we'll probably get, stamp set maybe one or two or three in the future, just so I can mix and match a few more outfits and the heads with these figurines because they really are cute. You just have to like the Dylusion quirky characters, and the line will work fabulously for you because it's such a bright color. Her everything else is just so brightly colored, which I do love. So I take the time now to go through the Mistletoe and Memories 12 by 12 pattern paper. This one is from 49 and Market. And I select two different pattern papers and I'm making sure they fit into my A5 journal. I do, though, work with these as outside the journal until I was ready to adhere them because it just made it easier because it was literally, this is the last double page spread. The other ones are inside the notebook. So I had to make sure that I didn't have like the almost like the seam binding or so interfere with working with it. So at first I was just doing some stenciling, and I'm just taking an ink blending tool. This one's from Simon Hurley, and these stencils are all from Dylusions. I forget their names, but they're Dylusions. They're the ones I showed in the beginning. And the color is Fossil from 49 and Market, and it's just a light gray color. It's just to add a little layer. You can barely see it, but you can see that it's there. So it's just adding, when I think of mixed media, I'm adding layers to everything. So we have a layer of stenciling with just ink blending, and now I'm adding a layer of stamping. And then, we add on top of it, the figurines will go, and then any embellishments. So that's kind of how I see it as a formulaic thing. If I wanted to do some stenciling with a texture paste or anything like that, that would have been good too. I just didn't want that drying time. But you will see in moments I am using some stickles to decorate everything. So the stamp sets I did show you in the beginning, it was a special leaf branch and long special, oh no, long branch or something. I said them both. They complement each other well. And so here I am going with stickles. I go in with Stardust on all of the leaves. Well, not all of them, most of them. And then I do have the color Cranberry that I add on all the red areas in their outfits. And then I go in with the golds for highlighting in both of their hairs in those figurines. So I do have the ephemera pack for Mistletoe and Memories too. And so I go through everything, and I also have the vellum and acetate collection. So I go through everything just to find a few added details to add to the background to keep it in a very festive theme. Um, I figured that that was the best way to keep it more on a Christmassy side. I mean, I don't have to. I just happen to be filming this in December. This is also going up on a cherry on top blog post, and so I just figured keep it Christmassy. And so come along. So each of them, are stand independently, but together they also work really well. So they don't have the same message. Like I'm just using like titles on one that says like Merry and Bright, and the other one says December moments. And I added a few snowflakes, and I added a few like trims. I'm using the art glitter glue. What is it called? Art glitter glue, um, to adhere my focal points, and then the tiny attacher to adhere anything that's acetate, which I do add like a little gold reindeer and a few of the snowflakes that are black because I like the contrast that it added to it. And then a few of the stickers from the sticker sheet. So I just got a little creative on both sides. And then I adhere them into my journal with double-sided tape from my ATG gun, and that worked out quite nicely. Okay, everyone, that will wrap up these double-page art journal pages. So I did adhere them just with using my ATG gun, and so they are nice and in. And honestly, this is, ooh, I just bent that. Okay, it's the last double-page spread, so I just have like this one that I probably started for some other project, and this one that just has paint on it. And I know there's one other one, this one, that has paint on it. So I just have to fill in these, and then we can have like a flip through. But how cute did they turn out? So I'm definitely loving little Dinky dolls. I love all the background, and the stickles really add to it. Oh, can you really see? Yeah, you can see. And it's in their hair, and it's on the leaves. You can see on the leaves. Not all the leaves, but some of the leaves. Very cute. All right, I will leave a list of everything down below where you can get it from. Most of it will be on a cherry on top, but I think this branch may have been from Ranger, so that would be the only other thing from the another website. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, bye.